Is the unnamed tavern named unnamed tavern? Is unnamed tavern named unnamed tavern, or is it a tavern that's not been named?
That real
Woo!
Yeah.
fancy. All right, so this is the link. I'll make sure that this gets added to the live chat. Oh, or not. Oh well, whatever. It's linked down below. You can find it. It's on Forbes. So AI Bros decided to make a new George Carlin comedy special, with AI simulating and writing jokes based trained off of his prior work. Of course, without consent.
Oh God. No.
Can I complain about Forbes' article title here?
Yeah.
Well, first of all,
Yeah, why not?
If you think about it, if you read the article, one of the things it kind of says is that this show is the cold show is titled "I'm Glad I'm Still Dead" or something like that. I haven't watched it, but isn't that the title?
I'm glad I'm dead.
And so the title of this generated skit is "I'm Glad I'm Dead." So why would they say George Carlin lives on if the actual show is about him being dead?
Probably because they're puppeting a corpse.
The second thing is that expletive laced. You're talking about Carlin.
Yeah.
Carlin. It's like saying Lenny Bruce said a bad word, or it's like, what part of Carlin do you not understand?
Right.
Also, if I'm
the 7 words you can't say and all that.
Yeah, I mean, he's got famous for saying words that cause the FCC to twitch. So that's another thing, right? The final thing is to say that this is AI, right? And I realize one of those things that I'm going to lose the debate over. Machine learning, or a machine enhanced presentation of a Carlin-like fake show would probably be a better title, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because
it'd be more accurate.
If I'm not wrong, the AI generated the whole thing, right? It's not touched by AI. Yes. It's created by AI.
Hi, Deborah.
Why are they saying?
Hello. Let George Carlin rest in peace.
Look.
You crazy ghouls.
Oh, look who stormed in.
Oh, hello.
Birdie, where were you?
Hello. I've been here this whole time. That's why I know what we're talking about.
Criticism again, I think is that the actual title of that article is actually rather inappropriate. It'd be better to say a group using Carlin's image produces a show about a dead Carlin presentation.
I think it'd be a better title would have been AI Bros Weekend at Bernie's, a George Carlin special against the family's wishes.
In fact, there is question
whether
or not they actually use
AI Bros exploit dead comedian.
Exactly. It's like they are saying it on the family's face. We don't give a shit about that it was his work or his hard work, etc., etc. He's gone, so it's free game now. It's kind of like a challenge. Comes across as a challenge.
There's this thing that you can do if you really like George Carlin's comedy and you want more of it. It's called Become Funny and Do Your Own Damn Stand-Up.
Hey! That requires work,
in this thing as well, there's a debate of whether or not so-called machine learning was used, large language models were actually used, right? That instead somebody, one of the claims is that no, they merely used that the people sort of came up with skits that were Carlin-like, and then used a system to try to build a show on that. Certainly, the estate of Carlin is not happy, and there may be some legal matters with regards to that.
It
as
turns
to
out
whether or
you can't
not
use
this
people's
is
likenesses.
I think as well some of the more recent um, union disputes include ASCAP, which would include Carlin was actually a member of, and so there may be some matters relating to that.
I'm a little
if it applies.
concerned with all this. I'm a little concerned with all this. I don't know if you go down. So if you read the paragraph that's on the screen, it says the pair described their setup as this one. Sorry, this one. That's it. The pair described their setup as a media experiment aimed at exploring AI's creative limits. Blah blah blah. They say they have given the AI access to their personal emails, text messages, social media accounts, and online purchase and browsing history, and that the AI uses that information to create comedy segments tailor-made for them. How far are we from AI being able to access your private information that is very sensitive, your account numbers, your signatures?
Well, let me give you an example. We're already in it already.
Mm-hmm.
And
banks are managing it already.
Is that, in fact, some of the earliest uses of machine learning are in search engines and are in things like Google, right? So if you use Gmail, if you use Google search engine, Google has emulated you and your behavior through its machine learning systems. Right? This is how it's able to do predictive text and other things based upon your context. So that happens already, right? To some extent, this is the clickbaity stuff of someone saying, we're going to use someone else's likeness and forge a show. And in fact, one of the claims is that the authors read and used a transformation, a sound transformation system to be Carlin stuff, because the I'm told, but I have not actually watched it, and I'm not going to watch it, but I'm told that the text is uncannily human-like as opposed to some of the stupid stuff that like a ChatGPT might do.
Right. Is living in the uncanny valley.
Yeah.
There's also another concern for me that there are a lot of parents who put pictures of their kids on social media from all range of ages, right? From toddler to a baby to someone who's like a minor,
preteen.
16, 17. Yeah, preteen. What there is a potential for so much in that area. The parents have to now start realizing that once it goes on the internet, anyone and anyone will do anything what they want with it.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And now with artificial intelligence now starting to make like human like, what do you say? Androids, online androids, if
replicas,
I might say.
Human replication.
Replicas.
Yeah.
Your child's adult version of replica might end up somewhere, or your child's replica might end up on a website where it shouldn't be.
Yeah. Now, we have a later topic regarding social media, but guess what, right? If you're using a Gmail account, if you're communicating with someone with a Gmail account, if you're using Facebook or communicating with somebody, or you are associated with somebody who uses Facebook, your information, or your child does that, right? That information is in the hands of data brokers and in the hands of companies with machine learning and large language model things, and it's been there for a while.
Mm-hmm.
It's well before the AI hype got on the news.
It's the same thing as I think so with Elon, like I think that Chesh brought this thing up, and last time when we were on the Unnamed Tavern with like Elon Musk, depending on his Twitter audience or Twitter users, to clarify the validity of whatever is being put on, on his platform, and hoping that the algorithm might learn from it something. So that's also another interesting thing, that we are already providing input on various platforms, and depending on what we provide, they can know what we want or what we are expecting.
And it doesn't take much of a sample to do that.
I was about to criticize Musk for like using his own fan base to validate himself, but we're all YouTubers here, so
that might be a little bit hypocritical.
And understand that stuff you do online is monetized, or people can grab it to monetize. You can go through a process through trying to use data, get data brokers to remove stuff, assuming they actually do it. But a lot of this stuff comes to there, and to think that it just started because when news media found that AI was a clickbait thing, is you're fooling yourself, right? It's been that problem for a long time.
I can give you a situation where I was actually so mad with all these like data brokers, because if you remember when we were like 2-3 years ago, when people were trying to find out where I live or work and shit, and so what I did was, I was lucky, I was able to go before they could reach my data on the internet, and there was a website which had my full name, my full professional, like my work email address, my work phone number, everything on it. They just had to like search for my name, and in order for it to go away, I had to ask them to remove it.
Wait, your whole name isn't just Manya?
Application.
No, her full name is Golden Unicorn. Manya's her middle name.
Oh, Golden Manya Unicorn.
Damn it!
Email manya@unicorn.com.
Yes.
So yeah, that
.com
infuriated me so much.
Oh yeah, okay. I guess it's like what is it out there, like .nz? Is that what it is?
NZ.org
or other.
Oh.
.bank. Yeah. Anyway, yes. There's lots of dot stuff. I think as well. I have used. This is not a plug, but it's a fact. I've been having pretty good success with using a service called Incogni. That the result is a dramatic drop in the number of amount of spam, amount of phone solicitation stuff, which is an aggressive way to try to get data brokers to stop stuff. The problem is virtual, not your identity. Like you can be virtually doxxed. What I mean, and this is an example of Carlin. If they have enough information about your context, they can simulate you. Right? They may not care where Manya lives or her employer or address, but they can identify her based upon behavior and then sell that. So you are even though they might say all the information is kept anonymous.
I mean,
with just a couple of facts.
Can they though? Can they?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hold on, because I'll just throw a little wrench in there. Let's see if the whole like gear system can eat it up. Because I am from another culture, right? And I'm living in another country with a different culture. And then I'm living in one of the most remote parts. Oh my god, did I dox myself? Fuck my life. So, yeah.
Can they, with all this information that I just shared, figure anything out? I don't know.
Manya lives on the sparsely populated and little-known West Island of New Zealand.
Yeah,
I get it.
Yeah, she lives in the East Hemisphere of. Yeah, but understand, to be virtually.
I live closer to the South Pole. That's what it is.
Certainly than the land away down under. But but understand when you're virtually doxxed, your actual identity doesn't matter, right? Your behavior,
it's not about your social security
patterns, and you can be uniquely identified based upon based upon your behavior. So metadoxing is a real big problem, and in fact, many governments to try and identify
there's a big issue.
To scan, just metadox people. They don't have to go on to court and get actual data from you. They can buy it online from Cambridge Analytica or other data brokers.
So, like, there's a big issue with, like, what I like to call, like, the vanilla internet, right? That it is not secure, it is not safe, it is, like, every, like, soccer mom, their kids, everybody can just have access to this immediately. It's one of the things that, like, Twitch and YouTube helps enable because they make it so easy to stream. X, formerly known as Twitter, makes it so easy to go live, makes it so easy to make an account and post, and so it makes it so easy for you to put all this information out there with complete disregard because people are not educated in what this safety is, and these companies take advantage of that and then use that to make money elsewhere, etc., 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 etc. However...
Chesh.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
I was going to say, can the vanilla internet be successfully mimicked using the secretions of beaver anal glands, just like real vanilla?
Allegedly.
and also, people practice poor digital hygiene. And as a result, they may not have to dox you specifically, but you be metadoxed so that effectively they can identify you, and so you might try to use privacy browsers and other things, but because you've practiced poor digital hygiene, you can be identified virtually. And
it's one of those. But the problem is that legality hasn't kept up, and that the company, nobody is holding these companies accountable whatsoever, and legislation being put forward is being lobbied by these companies to allow them to circumvent and loophole their way out of any responsibility in the first place.
Often also, making it worse in the name of making it better.
Right.
I am lucky from the country I come from. Our privacy laws are very strict. And if we are dealing with another country and their privacy laws are not up to par as compared to ours, New Zealand will implement their privacy laws when they're dealing with those countries. So I'm very lucky in that context. Also,
think of it like every time you're surfing the internet, your fingers are covered in Cheeto dust.
That's why you got to use internet chopsticks.
Yeah.
Also, like, my family is very much into like posting pictures everywhere. You know,
sure.
And my mother is like, "Why don't you post your pictures?" I'm like, one, I'm keeping you safe because of the trolls that are around me, and number two, I don't know where my picture might end up.
Well, it's one of those things too, right? Where it's like, as much as we can talk about about how AI is detrimental to your digital safety or your online safety, which could lead to more unsafe things that are in your real life, like predatory scam artists or predatory like marketing, like failure in business, fraud, etc., etc., etc. Some more subtle and more like around the bend than others. Some more direct. But keeping this in mind, this George Carlin thing has like a specific connotation of you're dead. you're
don't give a shit.
You're dead. The people who are producing this shit don't fucking care that you're a person. They don't view you as a person. They view you as whatever they think they can get out of you, or whatever entertainment they can get out of you. And that can get really predatory and really fucked up really, really fucking fast. Like, it's really bad that it's George Carlin. Who's it gonna be next? Robin Williams? And then who's it gonna what's gonna happen when it moves? What happens when it moves away from famous people who are dead and are comedians and starts moving into something potentially far more nefarious?
Isn't it already happening though? Isn't it already?
Not as publicly. As of right now, I would not be.
But if
we already know. Well, hold on. We already know that there are AI bots machine learning programs that are being used to create porn and nudes of people like Taylor Swift, who's talking about taking legal action in these cases. But that's what's happening up front. The George Carlin thing is something they're proud of and are putting forward because they think people will buy into it, not understanding how predatory and fucked up this is. You can imagine what that means for what's happening behind closed doors about people who aren't sharing what they're doing because they don't think it would be socially acceptable.
Oh, certainly exploitation
Also,
is nothing new, right? That's one of the problems. And plagiarism is also something. New.
Boy, don't get me started about that.
It's too bad that these people didn't decide to say, well, let's go after something we can grab, like Winnie the Pooh and the original Mickey Mouse, right? They could have done that legally and say, we're doing a Steamboat Willie like show exploiting.
Oh, hey, Tigger's public domain now too.
Huh? Okay.
Yeah, Tigger became public domain at the beginning of the year because in the original book it was just Winnie the Pooh, Christopher Robin, and Piglet.
Yep.
Yep. Then the next year Tigger was published.
Bouncy, fun.
Yeah. Eventually we'll get Eeyore. Eventually.
Oh, the best depressed boy.
Yes, I enjoy Eeyore. So, but that there is things you can legally exploit, right? You could do Shakespeare.
Well, yeah, it's not exploiting at that point. It's stuff that's public domain and available to be messed around with.
You ever hear of Pride and Prejudice and Zombies?
Right. Yeah, right.
Pride and Prejudice and Zombies is it's all of Pride and Prejudice, but with extra scenes for zombies.
Because why not?
There's a lot of stuff like that.